I will start off with a little quote of yours, actually, from Daba, which to me was the pure essence of right here, right now. Still here now, not yet a yesterday, now a little bit of tomorrow and today. And tell me, is this philosophy of being in the moment something that came to you naturally, or this is something you developed with the collection of experiences, and how has it come to this for you?
Actually, I think this is something that is within every one of us, and that maybe we just got conscious of this somehow. In my own experience, I thought it was at the occasion of my 40th birthday, and when many questions start coming to me about me, the behavior of me with the things, people, and myself and life around me. Was I doing the right things the right way? Some existential questions. And I thought it was the time for me to just not stop, but just make a pause and just observe the way things they are, and try to be curious if things would change when we are 40, or if we do change when we turn 40. And so yes, I get interested in many things, in people, due also to all the travels, thank God, we are making thanks to music, and observing that finally people are people, and we almost are the same wherever we can be, like geographically, culturally, and if maybe the space makes the difference, if the distance makes the difference, time put everyone together. And yes, so Daba was about this, to be attentive to what is happening now, and before it's a bit late, no? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And try to be better. Always, anyway, try to be better than mm-hmm. yesterday and than now. And then we made this album Daba, and it was released in September 2019, and we started touring, and then happened the COVID.
Right.
And and then Daba had a second meaning, which was still right and true, mm-hmm. but was unexpected the time we were making the album.
So it's still, the story still goes on, and it's transforming.
Yes, I think the present time is always there. We just have to see it.
You made me search deeper for my own answers when I saw your TEDx speech. And you said that identity is something we choose, something we are given, and also the part of us that is free of any conditioning. Mm-hmm. And is that what you put together in Daba? Is that, all of those three combined?
I think music for a musician is an audio identity, mm-hmm. and it's the opportunity we always have, and each time we make a new project in music, it's a new opportunity for us to define who we are and what we are. Mm-hmm. And I think it's about a creative process in which we are really, we should be active and responsible of, and not to let anybody or anything put this definition on each one's music, on each one's identity, right? And also allow ourselves to the change, to be changing and mm-hmm. transforming all the time. It's also part of the process, and it has to be, we have to allow ourselves to change, because I really believe in the change, and many people are a lot afraid of the change, I think it's crucial, and we need this. And so yes, in the definition of identity, I need to welcome any change coming, and I'm calling for it.
So you were to be an architect, and then you transformed your career completely, but do you still feel that this spacious awareness helps you to design your own musical universe, or it doesn't work like that for you? It's more of a...
It probably works like this, but I think anything we learn, any learning we go through must leave something interesting in us. And yes, studying architecture has developed this relationship and consciousness of space and the body inside the space. It certainly helps somehow building music, also texts, also like lyrics and thoughts. I think consciousness of self, body, and space is many parts of the whole thing. So yes, I'm really thankful having studied architecture, and I'm fine not being an architect at the end. And I think anything happens for a reason, and
absolutely,
yes.
And then there was the choir state of your career as well. So it's like being a part of a group, a community. And how was that for you? Because some people feel it better being a part of a group, some feel better being independent, but do you also feel like it helped you to then grow as a a solo musician?
Actually, I think that experience, you know, I was 14 years old in Marrakesh, and I didn't have that much possibilities to learning music. Of course, there was the conservatoire, but I was not really into this, like, learning music in school, at school. I was just in love of singing, and I used to do this my parents' house. And once I heard there is this choir, gospel choir happening at a French institute at that time, it was for me like, yes, a big chance to celebrate, to find people who just like singing, just like me, and being in such space with many people, and for the first time singing all together. Of course, it makes you feel something deeper than singing alone, and it's really soulful. And of course, it was a gospel choir, so also it was for me a good discover, because like, it was kind of religious songs, but in my culture there are some religious songs, but not in the same mood. Mm-hmm. We can have some religious singing. Usually it's men singing first, and then it's not about like moving the body and dancing. And this gospel experience was about that, and I think it got me closer to accepting the act of singing in many different contexts, with a lot of people, religious or not religious stuff. And yes, I think it made me more conscious of the huge thing that is to be sharing voice and part of your soul with people.
Amazing. How was growing up in Marrakesh like? And do you have like strong memories from your childhood that have impacted you as a person?
I think I have
today?
just not strong memories. I have strong roots. How I was growing up in Marrakesh, I would say it was really colorful, and such a big sensorial, I don't know if we say in English, sensorial, mm-hmm. yes, experience. Mm-hmm. Because Marrakesh is a city where you experiment all the senses, the nice smells in the Medina, the sounds of people working like leather, and it's a musical, it's really soundful city, very sensorial city, lots of colors. The light in Marrakesh is unique. You know, all the architecture in Marrakesh has this red color, because the light coming from the sun is that strong that we can't have white walls, otherwise it's too strong for the eyes. So it makes really the light of Marrakesh and the colors and the contrasts of the colors really unique and exceptional.
You also said in TEDx that for you, the album is like a chapter of life of an artist that reflects a certain moment in time. So as for your albums, do you have like a specific, expression for the time in your life that they reflect? All of your albums, can you put them all in like in a story?
Of course, like naturally, because also they happen one after another, just as seasons and periods of your life and years. Yes, chronologically, it is true, and it's in a certain way, of course, it says your story, or that many stories, maybe not all the story, but many stories that make your own stories through the people you meet, through the emotions you feel, through your fears, through your everything you are discovering, through your bad and beautiful times, through all these things you still don't understand and that you try just to maybe not explain, but at least describe with music. Music helps maybe not understanding, but going through something and sharing it with somebody. Maybe if we are a lot of people not understanding everything, we know at least that we are a lot of people wondering and asking the same questions. So.
How meditational is your music for you, being a Sufi? Like, is this your also personal dialogue of feminine energy with God, or you don't treat it meditationally?
I don't think I treat music, anyway, music I do make as a meditative act. But when you are practicing it, like tonight, for example, on stage, it's more about sharing and making it real and going through different states in the presence of many people and allowing yourself to go further and further than one only dimension. Music allows us to go a little more.
How do you feel being a part of the musical revolution of Morocco? Do you feel that as well in your creational process, that people look up to you in Morocco?
I started one day feeling a kind of responsibility, because I say to myself, now that I know that there are many people listening to me and looking at me, I cannot lie. I cannot look at something I don't like, I don't agree with, and just don't say it. If I can, I'm not trying to change anything, but I really have to be, I have something I owe to those people, being true and saying the things the right way I see them. And there is a risk in there, because when people look at you and they love you, many of them think you are somebody or someone. You are not. And one day happened, I said to myself, now I have this responsibility. And if some of them are not ready anymore to see me or listen to me or follow me, it's okay. I have to be like even more true than I am. This is a kind of mission we owe to ourselves and to people once we are like under the light.
And what about Zarabi? That was a very strong feminist message coming across from there, I feel, because you were making space for more local communities and giving them space throughout your music. Where's your source of feminism? How do you see feminism through your eyes? What's your idea of feminism?
I don't think feminism is an idea for me. It's a nature. which is within each one of us, no, girls, women, and maybe there comes a time when it has to express or to be expressed. We have, for me, like for example in Daba, in Zarabi, yes, because maybe not inside the lyrics of the songs in Zarabi, but yes, to say about those women who make carpets in Mohamed El-Ghizlan. And then in Daba, for example, there is this song Kemmi, which is in another démarche. It's like say about all the women struggling with situations and not choosing situations and dealing with it the best way, and saying about women's strength. I think feminism is not like one way, one sentence, one right to go look for. I think it's an everyday state of mind and trying to remember who we are, and also trying to remember all those women among us here or somewhere else that are necessarily fighting for something. I think all of us is fighting for something. It's not even a matter of you are a woman in Africa or in the Arab world or the third world. Or I think all the women are suffering. And when we suffer, somehow it means that we are enough strong to handle it. So for me, the most important message being feminist is not to say we are in a hard situation. Most important for me to say being feminist is like, we are strong, let's try to remember it.